This is a Cubbyhole special report. Welcome everyone back to my channel for this special report, this special update from today's trial events, or shall we say today's non-trial events. For those of you not following the case very directly, this all comes via Megan Fox, your medium smart journalist who is on location with the charismatic quartet, IT Goatee Brad, Lauren Knighty, and of course Rosalind Duke, along with the amazing Megan Fox. And earlier today, we had a live update from Megan from the hotel, that being the headquarters of medium smart journalism. But lots of computer technical problems. It didn't bother me. I was entertained while in the middle of work, even with all the technical problems. See, this is the problem of the digital age, folks. You can't just mail it in anymore, and you have to make sure your batteries are fully charged and that the Wi-Fi works in your hotel, or a combination of all things. Be that as it may, we got notes from Megan Fox, and I took some notes as soon as I was able to scribble them all down because there was a little bit to talk about. Again, Megan goes through this in great detail. I will include Megan's report and that particular live episode in the show notes below so you can hear it straight from Megan's mouth. And Rosalind's, for that matter. They were sharing the room together in that live. So here are the highlights from today's non-trial trial. As many predicted, and I was wrong. I have to admit I was wrong. I thought Laura was actually going to show up. I was wrong. She did not show in person, but she did show virtually. She was on the video conferencing along with her nurse trying to be passed off as a doctor, Colleen Green. I may do some more digging about her because I'm a little bit intrigued now by nurses calling themselves doctor. And no, a PhD in nursing does not make you a doctor. And to claim such as a practicing nurse, to confuse potential clients that you are in fact an MD, could cause problems for you. So I want to dig a little further into that particular individual. It would be interesting to know how a woman who practices as a psychiatric practitioner a couple hours away in Tucson got Laura Owens' attention, number one, and how a psychiatric practitioner can advocate for the rest of Laura Owens' medical status. Medically speaking, they cannot. They could only speak to Laura's mental state as a patient, and even then there would have to be some waivers of, shall we say, HIPAA and confidentiality. But as far as we know, that's not the case. So to have a woman, number one, trying to pass herself off as a doctor in a court in California, which presents some certain legal problems, number one, how that all comes about is very curious. And we are interested to know some answers, but we'll get to that later. That's not for today. We are talking about just what happened in court. So on the virtual video conferencing software, be it Zoom or whatever the court was using, was Laura Owens, not in person, but on screen. Colleen Green, the medical advisor who is not technically able to advocate for her medically. And also one Dewey the Douche Canoe, David Gingras.
The fucking douche canoe.
Apparently there were some hijinks with them talking to each other, and the judge was trying to get their attention, and things didn't go well. So eventually they had to be shut up. So that's kind of funny. So here is what we know from Megan Fox. Laura was ordered to be in attendance at the trial tomorrow, Wednesday. If she is not there, and we have checked the docket, there is no indication. Let me see. Can I bring that up? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I just had that screen. There we go. Here's the docket. As you can see, there's nothing since 10/3/25. This is the criminal case for Laura Owens in Maricopa County, Arizona. We have various things, including, if we go a little bit further down, the request for Laura to travel. That's on 9/17 and so on and so forth. 9/17/25 is the date there. So we have, as of this evening, and it is almost 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, there is nothing in the docket about Laura filing to be in attendance. So I will change my position that bad things are going to happen. Laura will not show in person tomorrow, or she'll shock us all, and it's just not reflected in the docket, or she'll show up without permission from Arizona, and she'll get into more trouble. There's a few different scenarios possible there, and all of them are entertaining to me. There was a little bit of discussion that Megan said. I have some of it scribbled down, but again, I'll refer you to Megan's Live with Rosalind Duke. some of the discussion from the judge and with Laura. One of the problems, before I get into that, was that there was not a court reporter present. And should there not be one present tomorrow, Wednesday, that will extend this process even further and things will get rescheduled, which is a damned nuisance. I'm not quite sure how courts function there in San Francisco without a pool of court reporters available for when there's a trial scheduled. I'm a little puzzled by that. Anyhow, the judge said that they will start tomorrow, Wednesday, and everyone should be present, and specifically ordered Laura to get her ass onto a plane. That's not exactly verbatim, but that's the gist of it. And Laura tried to flap around and say, but Your Honor, I have a motion for continuance. And the judge said, no, Laura, we are not hearing any motions to continue, nor are we hearing any of your motions to claim medical problems to wiggle out of this. So Laura is expected to show up bright and early Wednesday morning, and I will bet she will not be present. Oh, I hate having to change positions like that, but when we learn things, it's okay. It's all right. So there was further back and forth. Laura went on to say that she can't be there tomorrow because of what her doctors say. And the judge responded, you appear tomorrow or dismiss your position. She was only given two options. And then Laura said, Judge, I thought the court would be more understanding of my situation. So as we know, Laura was expecting to manipulate and take advantage of the court. But the court, Judge Carolyn Gold, who seems to be a no-nonsense judge by everything we're hearing so far, is not putting up with Laura Owens' bullshit. I think that deserves a rousing round of clapping. And wooing for good measure. We need clapping and wooing on a no-nonsense judge not putting up with Laura Owens' bullshit. Bravo, judge. The judge said a little bit more. I don't have a doctor's declaration. I'm not hearing this. And then Laura went on to say, well, I did the best I could, Your Honor. And the judge reiterated, your options are, again, be there tomorrow or dismiss your request for renewal. And the court will not continue things indefinitely until a hearing would take place. Obviously, something as serious as a permanent restraint, a permanent DVRO in place, causes some constitutional issues. So a court will not just allow things to amble on in Laura Owens' favor without there being a hearing and without there being some court involvement. And of course, Laura tried to leverage that and wanted to get certain things out of that, and hoped that, they could deal with some of the technical problems of, well, maybe you can just suspend it if we have to go longer. And the judge wasn't having that either. Some of the things that the judge did also mention to Laura was that, yes, it could be dismissed, and Laura could refile, and Laura was somewhat excited by that, apparently. But of course, in refiling, Laura would have to present new and recent circumstances in order for it to be a valid filing and for it to be of any interest in the court. Since there has been absolute massive distance between them for many years, there's no chance of that being possible. Omar Serrato, whom Megan Fox got an interview with after the very brief, if you want to call it a hearing today, and I highly encourage you to listen to that. Omar looks as dashing as ever. And we see also in that footage, IT Goatee Brad hanging on to a pile full of heavy-looking binders, surely for this case for Omar while he gave Megan a brief interview, as well as some other cameos by the Charismatic Quartet. Oh, speaking of Charismatic Quartet, you know what? This is just for fun. There they are. There they are. There's the Charismatic Quartet. There's Megan, Lauren, and Brad. And I think behind Megan out of frame is Rosalind. And guess what, folks? They are or were at House of Prime Rib. That's right. They went to the place, the residual place of eating for the Owens family, House of Prime Rib. I hope the breadsticks were good. I cracked that joke. So there you go. There was further conversation with other people on the screen. The clerk of the court noticed Colleen Green, who seemed to be in a rush and didn't necessarily have the time to be there. And of course, the judge, not wanting to hear any of Laura's bullshit with medical stuff, more or less dismissed Colleen Green, who said, oh, I can't be here for very long. I have patients, blah, blah, blah. And yes, had to interrupt Laura trying to get her to stay or some other nonsense like that. And David Gingras, looking like a dumbass, didn't respond when the court was inquiring who the hell he was. Omar had to interject and said, "That's David Gingras, whom I filed a disqualification motion for." And then David kind of chimed in and said, "Well, I'm just here as a witness." And on a final note, as the judge kind of wrapped things up and admonished Laura again to get her ass there to San Francisco or face some consequences would be my underlying motivation, Laura said, I'll work very hard to get to California, Your Honor. But we don't know what's going to happen after tomorrow. We don't know really what's going to happen tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. It will be just as exciting tomorrow as it was today, where things didn't happen very much. We will have to see if Laura screws on the testicles of David Gingras. I think she has locked away in her purse. And we'll see if she shows up. It doesn't appear that she has court approval to travel. We'll see. Is she silly enough to risk going? I doubt it. I think this could be a non-starter again tomorrow, in which case things will get even more interesting against Laura Owens and in favor of Mike Marraccini's position for dismissal. And I would suspect, if things do indeed head to dismissal tomorrow, there could be some fees and sanctions awarded to Mike, and that would be the end, unless Laura is stupid enough to refile and then have to actually prove some things. So there is your highlights today for trial day number 1, which did not result in a trial. And we'll see. And we'll hope that things go better tomorrow, if not at least more entertaining, and with fewer technical difficulties for everyone on scene. So have a good night, everybody. Get some rest. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And eventually we're going to get to talking more about the financial problems of Family Owens. And on Facebook, allegedly, an announcement of Ron Owens' 80th birthday and a resharing of the GoFundMe. Don't tell me that GoFundMe is not going into the Family Owens coffers for whatever they're using it for. And I suspect that is one of many reasons why the Assistant Attorney General for the state of Arizona filed an objection to the bankruptcy. So I think there's yet more to heat up in the Chapter 13, which will probably no longer be Chapter 13, against Family Owens. So much going on. Don't hold your breath. Please don't hold your breath. You need your breath because it's moving quickly and things are likely to change very quickly as things unfold in real time. So stick with us. Stay tuned. We'll share as much as we can via our socials, including repostings of all of our great friends in San Francisco with their boots on the ground coverage. Megan, Lauren, Bruce, and family, Brad, Rosalind, they're all hanging out together. Bruce is not there in San Francisco. He's there in Wisconsin, but he's doing some good stuff along with Hey Rob as things come into them as well. So we're all here to cover this and to be of service to all of you out in YouTube land. So until next time, until tomorrow most likely, unless something comes up, we'll see you then, folks.